everyone, Elena here at Hoof and Hen Farm, sitting on a bucket in the barn. It's been probably a month ago that Ashley from Mulberry Branch tagged me in the 10 questions for homesteaders. Hi everyone, Elena here at Hoof and Hen Farm, just not being able to talk. Die. Hi you guys, Elena here at Hoof and Hen Farm, just sitting on a bucket in the barn waiting for goat babies to arrive. It's probably been a month or so since Ashley at Mulberry Branch tagged me in the 10 questions. Hi everyone, Elena here at Hoof and Hen Farm, just sitting on a bucket in the barn waiting for goat babies to arrive. It's probably been a month or so ago since Ashley at Mulberry Branch tagged me in the 10 questions for homesteaders, and I just haven't gotten around to answering the questions. You know how time flies on the homestead. But now that I'm just kind of sitting and waiting on these babies to arrive, I thought it would be a good time to go ahead and answer those questions. So here we go. I'll keep looking off camera because I don't have these questions memorized. So the first question, what got you into homesteading? I think I was born into homesteading. My grandmother, I spent a lot of time with her when I was a kid. My mom worked, so she would drop me off at my grandmother's before school and then pick me up after she got off work. I spent my summers with her, and she always had a garden. She had chickens, she had cows, and my grandmother was an amazing woman. She lost her husband, my grandfather, in 1963 when my mom was only 14, and then she had an older sister and a younger brother, so my grandmother was left raising her 3 kids by herself. My grandfather had been off in Wyoming working and got caught in a blizzard and perished in that blizzard. So my grandmother was left with very little resources. She didn't drive, she didn't have a way into town. She had 10 acres and a house, a couple of cows and some chickens, and she just managed to persevere with that. So I learned a lot from her, and some of my favorite memories as a little kid would be waiting for the calves to be born in the spring, and when the seed catalogs would start arriving around January, I would sit with her and we'd dream about what we were going to plant in our gardens the following summer, and she always gave me a little garden plot of my own. So I really loved that. I spent many years living in the city, living in apartments, and I always dreamed of getting back to that. Question number 2, what would you like to add to your homestead in 2020? For the past 2 years, I've said this is the year of the turkey. My husband keeps saying this is not the year of the turkey. I really want to add turkeys, but we've just been so busy we haven't built a pen for them. We have a lot of fences that we still need to put up. We've been here 2 years. We're still in the building, very much in the building phase. So this year I'm really hoping for a greenhouse. I've got all the windows that I've salvaged from an old house. I need to refinish those, and we're also thinking about putting in a root cellar. And of course cows. We'd like to get a couple of miniature cows. My husband's kind of got his eye on the bulldozer. I think it would be pretty cool to have a bulldozer around here too. We've got a lot of work to do in our pasture. It gets pretty soggy, so we'd like to do some dirt work on that. It would help with our pond. We want to expand our pond, and of course help with that root cellar that we want to build. So fingers crossed on that. When the economy settles out a little bit and we see how our jobs are going, we may go for that. We've got our eye on one down the road. Wish us luck. Question number 3. What's the most difficult lesson you've learned homesteading? I think the lesson I had to learn homesteading would be about myself. That I'm not this girl anymore. I'm not 30 years old anymore. I can't hike 12 or 15 miles carrying a 40, 50 pound backpack anymore. I have limitations, and that's really been hard for me to accept. All my years in the city, being a fancy city girl and wearing fancy city girl shoes have kind of taken their toll on my feet. So I've had 2 foot surgeries in the past 6 or 8 months, and I'm still kind of hobbling along from that. But I'm getting there. My husband's younger than me too and in better shape, so he just works circles around me. It leaves me feeling a little bad, but he doesn't mind, and he really enjoys the work here on the homestead. And the reason he's not in the video with me is he will get in the videos candidly, but he is not going to get on here and talk. He's a man of few words anyway, so when I can catch him doing something, he's fine with that, but otherwise it's up to me. Question number 4. What's your favorite chore on the homestead? There are chores on the homestead? Seriously, I don't look at anything that I do around here as a chore. I love everything that I do around here. To me, a chore is sitting at a desk for 8 hours a day. But if I had to pick my favorite thing, I think it would be letting the animals out in the morning. I love coming out in the morning, especially when the sun is shining and everyone's ready to be let out of their enclosures, their nighttime enclosures. They're ready for food. I sing to them. I'm a terrible singer, but they don't mind. They just know that that song means food. So that's my favorite thing to do. As for my husband, his favorite thing to do is build. He loves to build things. So again, looking forward to that greenhouse. Sometimes I feel bad asking him for so many things, but he really does love it. Question number 5. What is your favorite thing to grow? Hands down, that has to be tomatoes. I grew up with tomatoes. My grandmother always grew tomatoes, and in all of my years living in the city and living in apartments, I tried to grow them on my balcony and it just never really worked out. The tomatoes from the store just are not the same. And for those of you who have never, if any of you out there have never had a vine ripened homegrown tomato, I am truly sorry for you. You've got to put that on your bucket list. Tomatoes are the best. I love watching them grow, all the different varieties. I even love the smell of the vines. And I think second to tomatoes would be peppers. I love spicy food, so any kind of pepper, I'm there. I'm game. And my husband, he likes green beans. He is not a big vegetable eater, much to my chagrin. I wish I could get more vegetables down in, but you know, what are you going to do? What do you love most about the homesteading community? I think the flow of ideas and information is the best thing about the homesteading community. I've worked 20 years in a profession where information and ideas are closely guarded, jealously guarded, like dogs with bones. So it's so refreshing to see a group of people come together and share their ideas and take true joy in seeing someone else implement their idea and be successful with it. That's got to be the best thing to me about the homesteading community. What's your favorite meal that you make? I like international food. I like spicy food. When I was a teenager, I planned to travel the world, which is something I've never done, and I'm okay with that. I love being here on the homestead now. But since I didn't travel, I kind of traveled through food. I have a ton of different cookbooks for different areas: Indian, Thai, Chinese, Mexican, you name it. But I think our favorite thing, and my husband's favorite thing that I make, is it's Thai basil chicken. And I'm kind of laughing when I say this because Thai basil chicken, which I love to make with the basil from my garden and our own chickens, but Thai basil chicken is also made with fermented fish sauce, which smells terrible. It smells like butt, and we call it butt chicken, only we don't say butt, we use the other word. So my husband brags about the butt chicken that I make. That's his favorite thing, and it's very spicy, so we both love spicy food, so that's our favorite meal. What's your favorite holiday? Now that's a question. Eric and I are really not that into holidays. they're just a little bit too commercial and so much waste is generated. We kind of go along with it. We love having the days off. And Christmas we do go over to my mom's house. My mom and my cousin, it's really our only close family that we have here that we can count on. So we'll go over there and we have a good time on Christmas. But I think I speak for both of us when I say our favorite holiday is a holiday only for us, and that would be our anniversary. We have been married just over 4 years now. We always do the same thing on our anniversary. We go to the restaurant where we got married. We met at this restaurant for our first date. We met through a shared interest group on the internet, and we met this restaurant for our first date. It was too crowded, so we went to Applebee's to eat instead. And then the next year, we went back to that restaurant in the parking lot and got married quietly by a wedding officiant, and then went to Applebee's to eat. And then every following year since then, we will go to that restaurant. It's called the Blue Monkey Grill, and we'll go there and actually eat. This year was a little bit different because of the pandemic going on and you can't dine in. So we still went to the Blue Monkey Grill, but we had to pick up our food and bring it home, and that was fine with us. The tradition persisted, even though we weren't too fond about eating out. During this year, we had to have that tradition, and yeah, that's our favorite holiday. Is your homestead permanent? Probably. That's kind of a hard question. This is the perfect place for us. It's really close to my mother, who is in her 70s now, and she's probably in better shape than I am, if you want to know the truth. But I do want to be close to her as she ages, and she's about a mile away. Our family cemetery, the family plot, is right across the road from us. So I joke that the next place I move is probably going to be across the road. I love our place. We're doing so much work on it. And the only thing that I don't like about our place, we have 10 acres, is it's gotten a little bit too populated around here. I grew up here, and while it's not crazy populated now, it's so much different than it was when I was growing up, and I miss that. So I think if we ever did move, it would be to a place with more acreage and the neighbors a little bit further away. It's kind of ironic that I spent almost 20 years living in apartments in the city, and now I say that a neighbor a couple hundred yards away is too close. But, times change, people change, and that's kind of how I feel now. I spent a lot of time, we're in Arkansas now, and I spent 10 years living in Oregon. I think if we ever move, it'll probably be to the Pacific Northwest. The growing season there is just amazing, and I would like to get back to that area. My husband has visited Seattle and Portland with me, those areas and the coast, and he likes it up there too, so I think we would both be happy there. But chances are we're not going to move. We're just doing too much work here, and we love our place here too much. So, and also I'm going to be 50 this year, so you kind of got to think about taking on a new mortgage and moving all your animals across country. I don't know if I'm up for that anymore. What homesteaders do you watch or follow? There are a lot. I love to watch YouTube and see what other people are doing. I think I first started out with watching Red Tool House, learning about pigs, learning how to do AI on pigs and how to care for pigs, how to the shelters you need for pigs, and I still really enjoy Red Tool House. It's one of the bigger ones. Roots and Refuge is another big one that I watch. I just discovered her a few months ago, and actually I've only been watching the YouTube homesteaders on YouTube for the past maybe, I don't know, within the last year. But I discovered Roots and Refuge. I watched a video she had on tomatoes. No, it was a video on growing microgreens during the winter in a bag of potting soil. And I saw her and I thought, who is this one? This is such a great idea. I wonder if this will work in my area. And I looked at her About page, and I was so excited to find out she's in Arkansas too. It was amazing. But I also watched some of the smaller channels that I've recently discovered. Mulberry Branch is one. I love watching Ashley and her family and seeing what they're doing. I like Wonder Wife Farm. There are several others that I really enjoy watching, and I hope to discover more in the future. There's another channel that I watch. It's actually not a homesteading channel, but it's one of the first YouTube channels I started watching, and that is C. Jane Drill. And even though she's not a homesteading channel, you can learn a lot from her on construction, you know, remodeling and doing things like that. So when we were remodeling a couple of houses a few years ago, I started watching her to learn some tips and tricks. And I know I'm supposed to tag someone else at the end of this video to do these 10 questions, but I'm so late in doing these questions. I think most everyone else has done them. Now Ashley's already tagged me again from Mulberry Branch to do the next 10 questions. So I'll be doing those in the next week or so, and at the end of those, if I can think of anyone who hasn't already done those, I'll go ahead and tag then. But I appreciate you watching. If you like my channel, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And also comment below. If you've gotten through this video and you found that we have some things in common, I would love to hear from you. I love to connect with people I have things in common with. So just go ahead, like, subscribe, and shoot me a comment. Thanks for watching.